What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video I want to talk about the massive early success for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. Now, this was not surprising. This is actually something that I predicted, not just how well it did, we'll talk about that in a second, but also how specifically they said it. Now, I don't want to make too big of a deal of this because, as I've said in previous videos, I imagine this game is selling just fine. And in fact, by just fine, I mean multi-millions, okay? I think this game is doing great, and it's going to make Microsoft a lot of money. It's going to make PlayStation a lot of money selling it through. All of the different companies that get any sort of cut, they're going to get a pretty good cut. Okay, so just want to make that kind of known off the jump. But, we talked about Claire Obscure earlier, and what was kind of funny or ironic about it is they said 500,000 copies sold, and it's interesting they said sold because you also have to think about, and I wonder what the number is with Game Pass, right? So because of Game Pass, and that's going to add to it, did it reach 1 million? Did it do more than that? And if it did, I maybe don't feel comfortable. Maybe they just want to kind of flaunt the sales, so they said 500,000. Now, with Oblivion, this is something that I said in the last video we made on this. I always felt when they said the numbers, and I think I predicted 5 million. I think I thought this thing was going to do 5 million in the first couple of days. It's actually 4. Now, that's still enormously, really, really good, okay? And I'm sure the game will continue to grow, and we'll talk about the Steam database numbers. I think this is going to be a very consistent, you think about Baldur's Gate still doing 100K years after it comes out. I don't know if this is going to do literally that, but maybe at a smaller scale. I just feel because it's being received so well, it is so good, I just think it's going to be a very consistent, you're going to see people playing this game for years and years and years, and you're going to see these numbers, I feel, stay pretty strong. I don't think it's going to stay this strong, but it's going to stay strong. So what I'm basically getting at is I just feel this game is going to, that number is going to grow. I think it'll probably hit maybe 10 plus million within the first couple weeks or first couple months, okay? I really think they just stick with it. I think this game will get 10 plus million players. Now, you can debate sales versus Game Pass, but that's the thing, right? So I was off by 1 million. I thought 5, it's actually 4. And they did say, the picture says thanks to over 4 million players, right? And they say that we're so grateful for over 4 million of you that have already ventured into the world. And again, interesting that they say it in that way, although predictable. That's something that I thought they were going to do, not sales, but just people playing it. And this is where I wonder, look, is it going to change my life all that much? No, I don't care if it sold 50 and 50%, right? It sold 2 and then 2 million people are playing it on Game Pass. It probably depends on the game. We've heard rumors of Indiana Jones, and I don't know how seriously I want to take those numbers because the reporting just kind of seems weird, but the reporting for Indy is that what it did 5 million on Xbox, but the vast majority was on Game Pass. Now, I don't know if that's true, but at the same time, the early analysis of the sales on Steam, at least, now these things you got to take with a grain of salt, okay? But you have 447,000 by VG Insights, 460, and then 666. That last one is always way higher. But those first two, they're pretty close, right? So maybe 500, around 500K sold just on, and that's sold, right? So you look at the Steam numbers, it's staying strong. 24-hour peak is 178,000. It did 190,000. That's all time, and you can just see the graph up down. But it's yes, it's the launch week, but it's staying very, very strong initially. So again, I think of Baldur's Gate not because I think this game can do 110, 120,000 every day for 2 years. I don't think it's going to do that, but I would not be shocked 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people, which there's some single player games in the Steam list that do that every day, right? They're not, I don't know, you don't think about them every day because they don't do hundreds of thousands and they don't necessarily pop back off. And when you see games that do 700K launch day and stuff, but they're just consistently every day, super strong player base, right? And they just don't stop. They just do that over and over. That's honestly because Oblivion's so big, so dense. It's been around for so long and it's lasted so long. That's the kind of game that I think it is, right? A game that I feel in a year from now, no, it's not going to have 170,000 people playing it every day, but I would not be surprised if it did, 30, 40, 50. So great success. And again, if you're wondering why I make a video like this, you might see it actually on a video I'm going to do over the next couple days. These are the kind of remasters I like to see, right? Genuine care. That's really what it is. Genuine effort and care was put into this. This is a game that I think deserved a remaster. It's been in enough time, and then you look at the quality and what they actually put into the game. They kept the essence of it, but they improved where it needed to be improved. They basically made a remake, and there's the debate of like, okay, well, should you call it a remake or remaster? Well, technically they're calling it a remaster, so it's probably a remaster. But when you have a game comes out and it's called a remaster, and your first feel is to say, I don't know, I feel like this should be called a remake, I feel like they did the job right. You know what I mean? So I just kind of want to promote something that is as good as that. Hopefully we can get. I mean, Fallout 3 is the necessity. I think everybody's saying it. We made the video. There's been rumors of Fallout 3 for a while. I think it'll happen. But how about, you talk about Bethesda games, and there's a lot of them that deserve something like this. What about just gaming in general? There's a lot of 06, 05, 07, as you start to inch into the 360 PS3 gen. Do you know how much I would give to those early PS3 360 games that deserve remasters and deserve it like this? So, this success, yeah, it's Oblivion. Yeah, it was always probably going to do this, but hopefully this sends a signal to the industry, and it's like, okay, this is the era we want, and also this is how we want it done. There's different ways of doing remasters, but this seemingly is the best way of doing it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.